Well, women and children are bearing the brunt of this war. Let's speak to Soraya Ali about this. She's a global media manager for the Middle East, North Africa and Eastern Europe with Save the Children and is joining us from Rafah in southern Gaza. Thank you, Soraya, for being with us. Talk to us first about the situation right now in Gaza, what you've witnessed since you've been in Gaza when it comes to the fate and the impact of the war on children. What have you seen and heard?
The impact of the war here is clear. The situation in Rafah in Gaza is overwhelmingly catastrophic. Overcrowding is the first thing that you can notice. Children everywhere. There are people everywhere. This is a small patch of land that was home to around 275,000 people before the war. And now there's an estimated 1.5 million people trapped, cramped, sheltering here, living often in makeshift tents under plastic sheets and metal. And you can see children on the streets, children with rashes. We've seen communicable diseases spreading, children often with one or both limbs missing. The situation is dire and children are noticeably malnourished. We know that nowhere near enough food or aid is getting through right now.
That's the situation in the south. What about in other parts of the Gaza Strip? We were just talking to our correspondent in northern Gaza who was describing a very desperate and dire situation there for the people, including famine. And children in the Gaza Strip, sadly, are all too used to conflict. For most of them, for some of them, in fact, this is not the first war they've experienced. What's different about this particular conflict? What do you see is different for children in this war?
I think what's different is the sheer scale, the numbers that we're seeing. We know that over 13,700 children have been killed. And as you said, the situation in the north is particularly catastrophic. We've already seen numbers of children dying because of malnutrition and dehydration. The north, nowhere is safe in Gaza right now, but the north in particular, it's been completely decimated. It's just rubble. It's covered in unexploded ordnances. It's an extremely dangerous place. Even in Rafah, we're hearing explosions. We are seeing drones and the stark contrast of those elements of war with children running around the streets with no food, no water, no shoes. And the types of injuries we're seeing are really catastrophic.
Right. A complete destruction, you described there, of normal family life for these children. And even for those who are physically unscathed, they may be scarred, of course. There's a psychological impact of this conflict. So what is Save the Children? What is your organization doing today in Gaza? You're there. What are you doing to help these children?
Right now, first and foremost, we're trying to give and deliver life-saving aid. So food, water, hygiene kits, which are basically the basic essentials people need to maintain some sort of dignity. Our main focus right now is getting that aid in. We know that's been extremely difficult. The only border open right now is the Rafah border crossing, and we've seen aid coming in at an alarmingly slow rate. Nowhere near enough trucks getting through, trucks being turned away. Here, as you said, the mental health impact is so enormous. Yesterday, I spoke with a woman who said more than food, she needs mental health support. And that really shows to you the long-term consequences this war will have on children and families. People have been displaced time and time again since October, progressively from the north, and now in the south. There's nowhere left to go, and people are visibly impacted by this.
Soraya, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. Soraya Ali is with Save the Children, joining us there from Rafah in southern Gaza. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.